Oh my gosh. Okay, so my neighborhood is like super loud. There's like helicopters going over, there's motocross bikes and motorcycles and trucks going all which way across the neighborhood. I just want to make a video and not have to stop every 10 seconds, but we're gonna try and do this in one take, one rant. Okay, let's get into it. Hey guys, so my name is Theo and I recently made a purchase that I don't think that many should, and I want to explain why. So in lieu of Nintendo's recent upgrade announcement, I don't really know if you could say that it's worth a warrant to upgrade your Switch for current existing Switch owners. But in lieu of the OLED Switch being announced, I as a current gen Switch owner use it mostly in dock mode. There's nothing really new that, even with the LAN adapter built in, that offers me any kind of benefit. I use my Switch in TV mode 95% of the time, and the screen has never really even disappointed me in handheld mode whenever I take it off for like that extra 5% of the time with my games. And the performance is exactly the same, so I really don't think that it's wise for anybody to even bother getting this unless their Switch magically explodes and disappears into the ether. So, what I bought in lieu of this, and instead of using money that would have gone to like a Switch Pro, was a PS Vita actually. And I bought a PS Vita 2000, the slim version, not the fat version, in 2021. And these are my thoughts. So I really honestly love handhelds, and I think if there's any proof of that, it's my 3DS and 3DS library collection of games. I honestly, like, for the past decade, or maybe even nearly 2 decades, I've really loved Nintendo's hardware and their lineup of games for their first party titles and a lot of the support they've gotten from a lot of other developers over the years. And it's just been always a very satisfying experience to me. And what's sort of sad about that is that there hasn't been a whole lot of competition, even to this day, with their handheld market. And this is where the Vita steps in. It was in the era of the 3DS both launching in 2011, and Sony really came out swinging with really strong titles from things like Uncharted, Golden Abyss that had really lovely graphics and even solid gameplay when compared to the PS3 at the time. Persona 4 Golden Edition is by far like so many people's elite favorite console selling game that they bought for just the Vita, or they bought the Vita just for that game rather. Dragon's Crown was awesome, Tearaway, Gravity Rush, Killzone Mercenary, the list goes on and on. Even Muramasa and Child of Light, like even a lot of indies really took hold of this platform, and I'm glad it got so much support. So there was just this era of games that I honestly didn't have a whole lot of exposure to, that I was then like learning about as I went into my adulthood, and I sort of had more of this personal time to go back into video game collecting and really seeing what Sony had to offer over that decade of the Vita's lifetime. The Vita offers an era of gameplay that I never really got to fully realize and experience on my own, and you can feel how much fun and personality that just emanates from this little device. Something that I think Nintendo really is lacking on their Switch these days. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love light and dark theme, but man, that just does not express my personality as much as I think the Nintendo 3DS had, and even what the Vita has to offer. It has a lovely, quirky, bubbly interface that you could use to even upload and take pictures of from the gallery on the device to your wallpaper and lock screen, and it has this like little paper type of UI interface that makes it feel more tactile and just really gives you a nice kind of paper craft like appeal. And that's sort of the like, it's not required. Nobody has to make a little UI theme or anything, or even give you these little details in your OS for your video game libraries. But you know, when it's there, it really does feel like there's a little bit of love, an extra little bit of detail that they put into this package just for the user end experience. And that's something that I really miss in the modern era of gaming here in like the 2020s. So just going back to this era would be really awesome, and I hope they take note and the companies realize that people really do miss this way of expressing yourself in your little handhelds, or even the larger consoles, to be honest. Uh, when it comes down to it, just the raw aesthetics of this device, I think Sony really nailed it with their hardware. Even from the 1000 series to their 2000 series, they came out with loads and loads of colors and limited editions. I particularly love this 2000 edition in the metallic red. It kind of reminds me of the fully red Mario edition in Nintendo Switch. And because I already have a Switch, I didn't really want to cough up the cash to get that one. And this one I think really nails that aesthetic that I really like, the black and white or black and red contrast. It's really, really eye-catching. I honestly don't think that there's more to it than that. I just wanted to have a quick little spiel about why I made this purchase decision and what it is that I want to get out of this device now and how that sort of takes place in the current era of games that we have to offer these days. Something that's kind of sad is after about a decade of the PSN store for the Vita, that might be shutting down now. Even the eShop from Nintendo has been having a little bit of news where they're going to be declining certain credit cards and certain forms of payment on their eShops. So these little handhelds really are on their last legs when it comes to the amount of time we have left to play all of these games that they had piled on uh, the digital store. And if it wasn't for my just obsession with collecting physical, I would have all of the digital downloads. And as prices increase over time and they inflate for all of these like retro games that were only like 10 years old, but are no longer in, I guess, production, they're just getting way harder to come by, and the prices are inflating, and it's so harder to collect, and you really like are gonna have no chance of getting and playing and experiencing all of these really lovely games that exist only to these consoles. So getting into it now, I feel like is just the last opportunity to jump in and then get your hands on what Sony had to offer from nearly 10 years ago. So that's just about it, and I'm happy to talk more about the system and how I want to just start playing these games again. Uh, Thanks for humoring me for now, and I've been your gaming doggo Theo. I hope you guys have a good day and happy gaming. Wow, I can't really wait to get into all of these games on the PS Vita. I hope nobody else releases any other handheld consoles that maybe could give me access to all of my PC Steam library games and then also offer really great deals during the Steam sale. Huh, what am I talking about? I'm gonna enjoy my games on my Vita.